What's up, Kane Insider fans? It's the Beast, Brian London, coming to you once again from the master bedroom. It's where I feel most comfortable doing my work. I mean, everything that happens in the master bedroom is good for me, so I figured I'd bring it to you right here on Kane Insider. Let's recap the day for the Miami Hurricanes today being a Monday. A short practice for the Canes. We didn't really get to see much. We were out there for about 5 minutes or so. Got to see some of the guys that were trying to do some rehab stuff because they are injured, like not Philip Dorsett. Sorry, my bad. That'd be OT Eduardo Clements. I don't know how you confuse those two. Nate Dortch is in a boot. Al said he had a foot thing. Denny Isadora coming back. Rashawn Scott coming back. So those guys were in red today. Jermaine Grace supposedly was in yellow, according to Al. Al said yesterday, that being Sunday, that Jermaine has a oblique injury. According to Al, Standish Dobard, you say Dobard, I say Dobard. Standish Dobard is just fine. He suffered some sort of a nick, if you will, to use Randy Shannon lingo, in the game against USF. But really, OT, Eduardo Clements, is the only one that may miss more than short term. So we'll see what happens there. Because of that, Walter Tucker, who they've been trying to redshirt, and they haven't decided whether they're going to play him on offense or defense, but right now, he's listed as your second fullback and your four-string running back. So Al Golden, when asked today whether Walter Tucker was going to redshirt or not, whether that decision's been made because he's on the depth chart, Al Golden said, listen, I don't know. We're going to talk it over with him, and if we need him, we're gonna get him in there. And that's tough on a kid. To lose your shirt 4 or 5 games into the season is tough. Now look, if there's an opportunity for him to help the team win games, whether it be on special teams, on offense, on defense, whatever it is, it's in the best interest of the coaching staff to get whoever out there they can get out there to help them win games. I'm thinking if it looks like OT is going to miss more than 1 or 2 games, Walter Tucker is going to lose that red shirt. He may lose it anyways. From what I've been hearing, he looks great, very fast, physical out there on the football field. So that's that. Meanwhile, Stephen Morris, we got a chance to talk to him today. Matter of fact, you can hear that sound right here on CaneInsider.com, somewhere around these parts. Stephen Morris downplayed his comments after the USF game, where he basically accused USF of being dirty. USF coach Willie Taggart allegedly responded today by saying, watching the tape, he didn't see any dirty play. Whatever, it looks like everyone wants to put it behind them. Steven didn't want to really talk about it, so I guess that's that. As far as Steven's injury, he says he feels a lot better this week than he did last week. He threw today, he didn't throw last Monday, so he's good to go. Shane McDermott practiced for the first time today in a while. Al Golden said basically, listen, he could have gone on Saturday against USF if we really needed him to, but since we didn't need him to, and Jared Wheeler's playing so well, it was better that we just held Shane McDermott out. Speaking of Jared Wheeler, this guy is coming on strong. Not bad for a guy that's been around for a long time. He could start at center. He could start at guard, and at the very least, he's made himself the 6th man of this offensive line, the first guy they're going to sub in. Jared Wheeler is doing a great job. He's getting to the second level of that defense, and he told us today he loves it if he can get past that first level, those big boys up front, and start to get those little guys in the back of the defense. He loves pounding those guys, and that's what you want to hear. That's old school Miami offensive line right there. They want to just get nasty and dirty and scratch and claw and fight and get down there and start hitting people. So that was good to hear. We talked to Gus Edwards, and he said, for him the challenge is really keeping the shoulder pad level low, because that's what he needs to do. Keep the pad level low and just be a torpedo on the goal line or short yardage situations and get into the end zone. He can't wait for guys to open up holes for him because it's a mess down there on the goal line. So he's just got to do it himself. And Al Golden calls it BYOB, bring your own blocking, meaning Don't wait for other people to open a hole for you in short yardage or goal line situation. You got to just do it yourself. Just put your head down and get in there and get the touchdown. So Gus says he definitely has to work on that. Stacy Coley talked about his confidence being up now, how he feels like he's really coming into his own, hitting his stride, helping out obviously in special teams and as a wide receiver, and it's good to see him doing that as the team progresses. Jimmy Gaines talked about Raphael Kirby really coming on strong, having some great practices. Raf is really talking to the older linebackers, taking notes, really trying to learn everything he can, doing extra film work with the guys, and that's going to be needed this week. The Hurricanes are going to need to rotate guys in to deal with Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is going to wear them down offensively, not just with that ground game, but with the chop blocking and the cut blocking that they get up front from this Georgia Tech offensive line. They're going to take these Miami Hurricanes defenders' legs out, and Miami's going to be able to have to not only physically deal with that, but mentally deal with that as well. It's going to be a real key to the game. But Al Golden says, listen, they've been practicing against us since spring. They do it in spring. They do it in fall. They have these guys practice against the cut blocks so as to be ready for this Georgia Tech game. Talked to Mark D'Onofrio today, and Coach D knows this spread option that Georgia Tech runs as well as anybody, because he's coached against it since he was a GA at Georgia back in 2000, and he played a Georgia Southern team that ran the same offense. So whether he was there or at Rutgers or at Virginia, he has faced, or at Temple, he has faced a spread option, and he's really got a feel for it, although Paul Johnson is always going to put wrinkles in. The quarterback they have this year can evidently throw the ball better than a pass quarterback, so that's something that Miami is going to have to keep their eye on. That's about it as far as news goes from the U. We'll have more tomorrow on CaneInsider.com. Obviously, it is our weekly press meeting with Al Golden and a bunch of players. I think there's 10 or 12 players and assistant coaches lined up for us tomorrow. So we'll have plenty of stuff right here on CaneInsider.com. Look for it. And for Brandon O'Doy and everybody else at Cane Insider, I'll see you when I see you. Peace!